I want to get into the Chris Jones conversation. It's not going to be the same old will he play or will he not play, because I'm going to take a different angle on this. And Kansas City Chiefs GM Brett Veach said that they are hopeful that the star defensive tackle of the Chiefs, Chris Jones, will be available to play versus the Lions on opening night. Well, Brett Veach, we can all be hopeful. I'm hopeful gas prices go down. Is it going to happen? No. So, Brett Veach, I'll tell you this. I don't give a damn if Chris Jones plays or not. It would obviously help the Lions. But I don't even want that built-in excuse in a way as well.
That was what I was kind of thinking too.
Okay, and that's the angle I'm going to come at this from, because for me, would I prefer Chris Jones not to play? Yes, I would. But I don't care if he does or does not, because, and I'll tell you why. If the Lions beat the Chiefs without Chris Jones, I already know the headlines. All right, and a win's a win. Trust me, I don't give a damn if he's not there or not, because a win's a win. But also, it shouldn't matter as Lions fans, and those Lions players, for example, they're not going to be like, oh, Chris Jones is out. Like, of course it's good, but they want to beat the Chiefs no matter what. And if you could beat the Chiefs with Chris Jones, I think that is more of a statement, Sam Flannel, than not having him. But my prediction, he ain't going to play. Brett Veach is just kind of sprinkling this out there for, I think, I'm hopeful he ain't going to play. There's no way.
Well, let me ask you this, because it might be gamesmanship. Even if Chris Jones does play, you can't just walk in on day one, even if you're Chris Jones, even if you've been in the system, even if you are one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and just go out and have the same conditioning and technique just from not having any camp. It's the NFL. Even, you know how it is. There's a difference between being in shape and football shape, and Chris Jones definitely isn't in football shape right now. But he can still wreck a game for a couple of plays because he is Chris Jones. My thing is, you mentioned how if Chris Jones is out, you know what everybody's going to say. The Lions only won because Chris Jones was out. And I say to that, so what? Injuries happen to every team every single year. And this isn't an injury, this is different. But star players miss games all the time. I mean, TJ Watt missed a lot of games last year. You look at it every single year. Tom Brady missed almost a full season. Peyton Manning missed a full season. It happens all of the time. And I would ask Lions fans right now, because it is different. It's not the same old Lions, to just have a little bit of thicker skin at this point. Mm-hmm. No matter if you win or not, just if you win, whether Chris Jones is playing or not, just celebrate the win, take the dub, be 1-0, go at home, beat Seattle, go 2-0, and then at that point, we're talking about Super Bowl contenders. No matter who is in those games or not, it's all well and good. And even now, whether Chris Jones plays or not, at this point, with him not being in camp, with him not showing up, with him being put on that list, I would probably pick the Lions to win no matter what, and that's okay. Just accept whatever result comes, and don't worry about national perception, because at the end of the day, the Lions are going to smash a lot of those national perceptions with the season they're about to have. I think we all agree with that.
And Don Beat says, bring on Chris Jones. Winning in KC will feel even better. Bob Johnson says if he plays next week, I would be worried of an injury not practicing for long. And that's the other part of it, right? He hasn't shown up to training camp. He's already been fined like $1.8 million, which he kind of knew what he signed up for. So I don't think that matters. But I'm with you. If he's not ready to play, I don't think he will play. And if he doesn't have a deal done, I don't think he'll play. And Shad chiming in, the Chiefs won't have an excuse. Should have paid Chris Jones if you wanted him to play. That's facts. And Andrew Klingerman says, should it matter? He's one player. We have a top 3 O-line for a reason. And there's the other point of this. Zach Connors says, Jeff, I'm with you. I want them there at their best. Stephen Baffey, if the Lions win, Jones gets more valuable, which is an interesting angle to take on this. I guess for me, and I just watched Rob Parker yesterday, and I got a lot of respect for Rob Parker, but his take on the Lions this year is so bad. It's so bad. Like, his reasoning is, how am I supposed to buy in to think they're going to do anything this year because of their history, because of what I've seen? But he also said in the same sentence, I don't want to hold their history against them, but then proceeded to hold their history against them. So for a guy like Rob Parker, and he's an example, but there's a bigger thing to this. If the Lions beat the Chiefs without Chris Jones, I already know what's going to happen. Oh, the Chiefs weren't ready. They're coming off a Super Bowl hangover. They didn't have their best defensive player in Chris Jones. I don't want to hear that at the same time. Now, would I prefer Chris out? Of course, but at the same time, I want the Lions to go beat him at their best. I think that'll help the narrative. I mean, yes, the Lions are nationally a lot of people's darling or little brother at this point. Like, hey, rooting for the Lions. But if you go in Kansas City and you beat the Chiefs with Chris Jones, the amount of respect that puts on the Lions, especially week 1, everybody's tuned in. The NFL gave the Lions respect by putting them on the opening night schedule. I kind of want Chris Jones there just because of how much more impactful it'd be if you beat him. if you beat the Chiefs with Chris?
Well, because if you're on the field, there's no excuses. I know I gave out all the reasons why Chris Jones might not be at 100% because of the lack of conditioning, the lack of training camp. I understand that. But if he's on the field and the Lions win, I don't want to hear it from the Chiefs. Oh, Chris Jones wasn't in camp or anything like that. If you're on the field and you're Chris freaking Jones coming off a first-team All-Pro, coming off of 15 and a half sacks, a future Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive players in the world, if he's there, I don't want to hear it. But I'll tell you what, think about this. And I want to kind of pose this as a thought for the chat and for all of you guys. I know how valuable Chris Jones is. Obviously, all NFL fans know how valuable Chris Jones is. But what if he isn't there? Wouldn't the narrative be the Lions went in and beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead? Because Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football.
He is.
One of the best players to ever put on cleats, in my opinion, already. Andy Reid, one of the best coaches to ever coach NFL football. Travis Kelce, the greatest tight end to ever play NFL football. And Creed Humphrey, who I think is the second best center in the league right now. They're all playing no matter what. This is still a high-powered offense. Wouldn't that be the narrative? Like, the Lions beat Patrick Mahomes because when Patrick Mahomes wins or loses, he gets all the credit or all the blame because he's the superstar.
True, but at the same time, I think there'll be some pessimistic takes out there. Not that you should pay any mind to them, but it's just it's just how I'm feeling, Lucas. And I know you agree with me. At this point, I'd rather have Chris Jones play, and let's go.
I mean, with the Lions' offensive line, I'm still comfortable with Chris Jones playing. Now, if Chris Jones doesn't play, I'm going to have a huge smile on my face because I will feel probably about 60% confident the Lions will win this game.
That's fair.
And with Chris Jones playing, I'd probably be like 40-60, so it'd probably flip it. The Lions have a chance either way. But just the difference maker that Chris Jones is, there will definitely be a narrative around it because the Lions, already people are always talking about, well, they're past, and then they're going to say, well, this isn't the Lions yet. They just beat the Chiefs, nice, but they didn't have Chris Jones. And then I could also see it against Seattle if JSN doesn't play. They'll just stack it up, stack it up, stack it up. Now, do I think that has validity? No, because at the same time, to Flannel's point, that's the best offense in the NFL. And if the Lions' defense was dead last year. You go into Arrowhead with an upgraded defense and you beat the #1 offense probably in the last 10 years, I'll take it. I really don't care what people have to say because at the same time, yeah, it's the Lions, and this is something that the Lions would normally never do. So I'm not concerned either way. I think with Chris Jones playing, they have a chance. Without him, they have a chance.
Big Show picks. Who's under the desk, Lucas? Why is your shirt up?
Dude, I'm sweating my ass off. I'm sick as hell right now. I've been here early. I'm like got pitters going on, but I'm holding it down. I'm holding it down for the morning Woodward show, baby. I've been sick for like 3-4 days.
Lucas is the GOAT, man. But Gabby, JB, you guys prefer Chris Jones or out, or at this point you're like, screw it, let him play so we don't have any excuses built in already?
Let him play. That's all I got to say.
Okay, all right.
Keep it simple.
JB, what do you think? Where are you at with Chris Jones?
I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. And Vin Diesel said this best in Fast and the Furious. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. There's no excuse here.
Family.
That's
the
a bar.
Chiefs knew or were informed that this man may or may not play. So guess what? You have to make adjustments and put the best lineup you have out there to go up against the best team in the NFC North. So it doesn't matter right now. It doesn't matter if he plays or if he doesn't. Winning is winning. If you lose, hey, guess what? You can't make excuses.
No,
JB.
Voice of reason.
That now you know. That is why we call this man the voice of reason.
That was extremely well said, JB, and I agree with everything you just said. And speaking of Chris Jones, where did he go to college?
Ooh,
Mississippi State.
He
went
did.
to college at Mississippi State. And Woodward Sports certainly loves college football. And this Saturday, we are premiering For the Love of College Football as September 2nd from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. It is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do this every single Saturday. It's going to be college game day style with a rotating list of hosts like myself, Spencer Raxter, Easy, and more. And a little inside information, I myself will be on the Week 1 broadcast. I won't be hosting. I will let that be a surprise, but I will be on the desk as well, breaking down everything going into Week 1. And we're going to be doing this every single Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I believe even Lucas Klotz is hosting an episode, and you guys are not going to want to miss that. For all the biggest matchups, for all breaking down Michigan, Michigan State, and all of the top teams, be with us every single Saturday for the love of college football. JB, that was actually probably one of the smartest things that's been said about that topic so far, because I hear a lot, and this is something that kind of bothers me, but like I've said before, this might be my non-native Detroiterness coming out. When it comes to national narratives and everything and not getting respect, I've always thought that was a little bit overblown. I think the Lions have to earn respect. So even if I just want to win, Chris Jones be damned. And as I've said before, the longer this has gone on with Chris Jones, the more and more I'm picking the Lions no matter what. And at this point, if you had to ask me, I would pick the Lions. Just take the victory. It's a win at Arrowhead. And it's not about style points in the NFL. It's about winning the division. It's about getting the #1 seed. And your pathway to getting the #1 seed is going into Arrowhead and beating Kansas City. I'm not calling for them to get the #1 seed, but that's all that matters, is winning your division, winning a playoff game, and national respect will come after that. Narrative be damned. I don't care what they have to say. You should just, wins should cure all the narrative talk. Just laugh in their face.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby, as Al Davis would say.
And people giving JB some love.
Yes.
Jesse Adams, JB dropping lines. Eric Allen, thanks for getting me hard, JB.
Oh,
You
wow.
going to say you're welcome to Eric Allen? Or
Hey, yo!
But you're welcome.
Don Beat says our chances would be better without him, but I want to see him just for the challenge.
Sure.
And that's where I'm at. Spencer Raxter says, Jeff, can you shout out Joey Morrison? Who's Joey Morrison? Is he in the chat? Who is that? Why is everyone quiet? Who is
Dude, you think I know who Joey Morrison is?
I do, but I don't. Just Google it, Jeff. Just Google it.
Should I Google it? Like,
Yeah.
what's going
I'll
to
do
pop
it
up
right
on my
now.
browser? Who is that?
Joey Morrison. Let's
We're just
look.
Googling him right now as we speak.
Who? Oh, no.
I don't know who this dude is.
Oh, wait. Spencer Raxter says Joey Morrison is a kid from my high school who tried to kidnap the governor. Well, Joey
Oh,
Morrison.
yeah.
Joey Morrison's taking L's, dude. Who is that? Is that who it is?
Yeah, it's just this weirdo.
All right, you know what? Yeah, we're done here. But Spenny went to school with him. Fun fact. There you
Hey.
go. Let's